With its purchase of the Mexican wrestling promotion AAA, WWE is now officially in the lucha libre business. If you're curious about dipping your toe now that AAA's shows are available on WWE's YouTube channels, here's who to know. Let's start with the champ. As of the making of this video, El Hijo del Vikingo is the AAA Mega Champion, having successfully defended his title at Triple Mania 33 against Dragon Lee, El Grande Americano, and Dominic Mysterio. Of all of AAA's stars, Vikingo has probably done the most to make a name for himself in the US in recent years.
Vikingo, what's he gonna do next?
Vikingo signed with AAA in 2017 at the age of just 20. Over the next 4 years, he carved out a reputation as one of the most awe-inspiring high flyers of his generation. Seeing Vikingo in his formative years performing some of the most insane moves ever conceived, including inventing some on the fly, was probably a lot like what seeing a young Rey Mysterio was like when he wrestled for AAA in the 1990s. In 2021, Vikingo began his first reign with the AAA Mega Championship and held on to it for 833 days, surpassing the previous 765-day record held by AEW's Kenny Omega. Unfortunately, Vikingo had to vacate the title due to injury in March 2024. He made appearances for AEW and Ring of Honor, which included a match with Omega in March 2023 that is often cited as one of the best matches in Dynamite history. If Vikingo gets to strut his stuff on WWE's main roster and he can stay healthy, he has all the makings of a worldwide lucha libre megastar. Vikingo may be the golden boy, but the surprise breakout star for WWE audiences so far has been Mr. Iguana. This face-painted luchador is a 16-year veteran of the business, debuting back in 2009. He originally tried out for AAA's rival promotion, CMLL, but was turned away because of his slim physique. CMLL's loss was AAA's gain. He put on the face paint and joined forces with a plush iguana puppet named La Yesca, becoming a fan favorite in the process. Iguana is currently one half of the AAA World Mixed Tag Team Champions alongside La Hiedra, a title the duo have held since December 2024. So clearly he's more than just a man who wrestles with a plush toy in his mouth. He can have championship-caliber matches when he needs to. Once WWE fans caught a glimpse of Mr. Iguana at Worlds Collide in June 2025, his career reached new heights. He even appeared on a recent episode of SmackDown and WWE's recent live events in Mexico. There are people within WWE that see Iguana as a main roster-level talent, especially with how marketable he is to younger fans. So while he might not be in the main event scene in AAA, Mr. Iguana is sure to be featured heavily from here on out. If you like scary clowns, have we got the tag team for you? Psycho Clown and Pagano. They're the current AAA Tag Team Champions after a win in a street fight at Triple Mania. Psycho Clown is actually a third-generation member of the legendary Alvarado wrestling family. He's been in the business for a whopping 25 years and is a former AAA Latin American and World Trios champion. Psycho Clown has also recently been featured on WWE shows and will likely be getting a lot more bookings given how well-known he is north of the border. He has made appearances for GCW, MLW, and TNA in recent years.
Unbelievable to have Psycho Clown here. He's regularly a headliner in AAA or AAA.
It'll be interesting to see how WWE handles Pagano, given that he's an absolute lunatic. He's AAA's resident deathmatch specialist, and fans got their first look at how far he'll go when he feuded with Psycho Clown back in 2016. He's got gold, but Pagano doesn't really care about championships as much as he does causing pain for others and himself. He has wrestled in countless deathmatch tournaments around the world, including the NGX King of Deathmatch tournament in Monterrey, which got him the NGX Extreme Championship. It's unlikely Pagano will ever get to do a deathmatch on WWE TV, but here's hoping, because he's unlike anyone else on the AAA roster. The name El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. is a bit of a mouthful, so some people simply call this third-generation star Wagner III. He's the grandson of the legendary Dr. Wagner, who was a household name in the 1960s and 70s. His dad, Dr. Wagner Jr., is just as legendary and will enter his 40th year as a professional wrestler if he doesn't retire before 2026. Wagner is one of the most traditional wrestlers on the AAA roster. You won't be seeing him execute 630 sentons like Vikingo or rolling around in a pool of his own blood like Pagano. But you will likely see him in and around the main event scene now that he's back wrestling full-time in his home country. Wagner III has been primarily working in Japan over the past few years in pro wrestling Noah. During his time in Noah, Wagner managed to achieve more than some Japanese legends. He won the GHC Tag Team Championships with former WWE star Rene Dupree on 2 separate occasions. He held the GHC National Championship for almost a full calendar year, and in February 2024 became the 24th man to hold the GHC Heavyweight Championship. though he only held it for 90 days. He left NOAH in January to return to Mexico, signing with AAA. It didn't take long for him to win gold. He won the AAA Latin American Championship from El Mesias at Triple Mania. Realistically, it's unlikely that Negro Casas will be appearing on WWE TV anytime soon. He's 65 years old, but if you ask any longtime fan of Mexican wrestling, they'll tell you that age is just a number for some people. And Casas is one of them. Debuting all the way back in 1979, Casas is someone who has put butts in the seats of Arena Mexico for generations, as he was a staple of the CMLL roster since his formative years in the business. He left the promotion in 2023 along with his wife, Dalis, after years of being a gatekeeper for younger, more exciting talents. AAA, always wanting to get one over on CMLL, signed Casas and his wife to contracts that may not sound too groundbreaking to the WWE fans who only started watching AAA this year. But imagine if The Undertaker, instead of becoming the retired superstar special guest he is, kept wrestling and got shuffled down the card. Then he showed up at one of AEW's pay-per-views. That's what this is like. Laredo Kid is a bit of a special case. He has been the AAA World Cruiserweight Champion since December 2024, but he's technically under contract to TNA. He has been since 2021. That said, he was featured at both Worlds Collide and on NXT as of late, so he deserves a mention. Laredo Kid is one of the most exciting luchadors that both AAA and TNA have at their disposal right now. Not really a kid anymore as a 20-year veteran, Laredo is also one of the most recognizable faces in AAA thanks to how much time he has spent north of the border. After his original run in TNA from 2017 to 2019, Laredo Kid made a handful of appearances for AEW in that company's formative years, crossing paths with the likes of Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and the Good Brothers before returning to TNA and becoming a full-time member of their X Division. While he has never been an X Division champion, Laredo Kid can be relied on for excellent matches each time he goes out to the ring. That's clearly why WWE trusted his ability enough to challenge for the NXT North American Championship at Worlds Collide. El Mesias is a true journeyman of the wrestling business. He has gone by many names throughout his wrestling career. He made his name in Puerto Rico as Ricky Banderas, which was also the name he used in the short-lived Wrestling Society X promotion in 2006. From there, he would sign with AAA, where he was thrown into an active volcano. Yes, really. That storyline allowed him to wrestle in Puerto Rico, with the El Mesias gimmick being born upon his return to AAA in 2007. Mesias also had a brief run in TNA that ended in early 2008 following a feud with Abyss, which included one of only 5 barbed wire massacre matches in the history of the company. He was also a beloved on Lucha Underground, where he wrestled as Mil Muertes, a masked monster who sat on a throne made of his enemies' skulls for a while.
I will take your life!
AAA would continue to be Mesias' home promotion until 2018, when he left due to unhappiness over being forced to work through an injury. He worked for CMLL in his years away, but all roads lead to home, and after 6 years he returned to AAA in 2024. He has remained with the company since. AAA hasn't gotten to show off its women's roster too much in the WWE era yet, but the highest profile match so far highlighted the biggest star they've got at the moment, Lady Flammer. She retained her Reina de Reinas, or Queen of Queens championship at Triple Mania 33. Flammer has held on to that championship for over 2 years after dethroning current AEW and Ring of Honor star Taya Valkyrie to commence her reign. She now has 6 successful defenses of her title, and it kinda seems that there is no woman in the world who can stop her, especially since she always has her friends lurking in the distance. She's in the stable Las Toxicas, which currently consists of Flammer, La Hiedra, and Lady Maravilla, who have been a 3-headed force of nature since they formed back in 2021. NXT star Lola Vice got a first-hand taste of what it's like to come into contact with them at a recent AAA TV taping. With her win over Fabi Apache and Natalia at Triple Mania, Flammer is well on her way to becoming the longest-reigning Reina de Reinas champion in AAA history. A quirk of Mexican wrestling specifically is that sometimes the masked characters supersede the performers underneath. A character can go on after a wrestler stops portraying them. Someone else just puts on the mask. For example, the current Octagon Jr. is the 3rd man to play that character. The first went on to be Kalisto in WWE and now wrestles on the indies as Samurai del Sol. After him, Flamita wore the mask for a little while, but he left AAA and dropped the gimmick out of respect for the original Octagon. He went on to make a name for himself in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and ROH. The gimmick lay dormant for many years until late 2019, when former AAA World Trios champion Golden Magic took it and made it his own. The latest version of Octagon Jr. has gone on to win the AAA Latin American Championship and forge a path for himself as one of the most promising members of the AAA roster. He has already caught the eye of WWE. Following his performance at Worlds Collide 2025, he was given the opportunity of a lifetime when he got a WWE Intercontinental Championship match against Dominic Mysterio that same day at Money in the Bank. Dirty Dom walked away with the win, but Octagon Jr. proved he's got a lot of upside. Expect more from Octagon Jr. in both AAA and WWE in the coming years. Not only is Sam Adonis one of the only fully American members of the AAA roster, he's actually the brother of someone WWE fans have known for many years, commentator Corey Graves. Graves actually trained Adonis, and they both worked in WWE's then developmental territory, Florida Championship Wrestling, in 2011. But while Graves went on to NXT, Adonis, who wrestled in FCW as Buddy Stretcher, got released after suffering an injury. Adonis toured Europe for a few years before landing in Mexico in 2016. Adonis really found his footing as a heel in CMLL, portraying a pretty boy American who loved Donald Trump, making him one of the most hated men in Mexico. He was routinely booed out of the arena.
Instantly, my bosses were going nuts, the bookers were going nuts, everybody, the wrestlers thought it was hilarious.
He left CMLL in 2018 and did some more international touring. After the COVID-19 pandemic subsided, Adonis arrived at AAA at the end of 2021, still portraying an all-American Trump supporter. But he transitioned into a more likable yet still pro-American character as the years went on. He became one-third of the AAA World Trios champions in 2022 and has continued to be featured on AAA programming on a regular basis. He's reunited with Graves now, too. It's been confirmed that Graves will be one of the AAA English language commentators moving forward.